Hey, this is Dan.
Bob.
And Eric.
From GigaBoots.com. Welcome to GigaBoots Podcast number 34, titled Bob Kicked the NES. All progress from last episode is lost.
Bob is history's greatest monster.
Here we go. Sir GigaBoots continues his journey.
Yeah, I missed that. I'm so sad. I wanted to be there for the rage.
It was really funny because, like, a relative of Bob's was around, and she heard me yell at him, "I will kill you, god damn it!"
I will shit in your mouth!
It was basically that level, yes. So today we've got a great bit of news to talk about. Really good news. Like not just like interesting
Jesus
to talk
good
about.
News?
No.
Oh, different good news.
Okay, it can be Jesus good news if it's like the end of Clue Jesus good news, where you pull a gun out and shoot a man.
Where Jesus pulls his gun out.
And shoots a man. Even better.
And says, I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
If Jesus said that, that would be incredible. Man, I'm ending a movie like that. No build up for anything.
So what's the good news, Dan?
Lots of good news, not only topically to talk about, but good to hear. I think so anyway. Some of it's about Destiny. But yeah, we're going to cover what we've been playing, do the news roundup, and then we're going to just do a roundtable on Destiny because we've all played a shitload.
Well, I've played less of a shitload. A shit light, if you will.
Light.
They've played a shitload. A whole truck shitload. A shit truck backed up. 3 shit trucks.
How much Destiny do you need? The whole thing. Just dump it on my chest. Take a Destiny dump on my chest.
Wow.
A Cleveland Destiny.
Yes.
This is getting really bad, guys.
So, we'll change the topic then. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Dan.
What have you been playing for the last week, my friend?
Well, I've been playing a bit of Destiny.
Oh, okay.
And a little bit of, over the weekend, last weekend, there was a dollar
Cookie clicker
sale.
doesn't count.
Shut the fuck up.
That's a job.
I will kill you and everyone you love.
There was a $1 sale?
There was a dollar sale on the Vita for a bunch of cool titles. One of a bunch of like old school RPGs, like Wild Arms. So I bought it because I heard lots of nice things about it. I also bought Legend of Dragoon through your PS3 for the future day when Sony decides to crawl out of their own ass and let me play it.
On your Vita.
On my Vita or something. Jesus Christ.
And they wonder why people hack their consoles.
Yeah, jeez.
To play the shit we just bought from you. But, okay,
yeah,
did you play any of that?
I played Wild Arms.
Okay, how's Wild Arms?
It's interesting. It's
Which Wild Arms is this? Like
the first one.
Okay. The one. Wild Arms. The one. Oddly enough, second in the series.
Sorry, Shetley.
Yeah, you can really tell it is a PS1 era. It's got that sort of aesthetic or that tone of PS1 era RPGs of that top. I don't know. It feels very PS1.
Now, when you say tone, do you mean like gameplay mechanics, or do you literally mean?
I mean like
the story,
the graphics and story. I mean, the story is kind of interesting because it's like Western sci-fi-ish.
Yeah.
But I think it's more, I guess, the aesthetic, the graphics. It's not so Trigun.
Yeah.
There is a special guy with a gun. But he isn't,
Is he a Stampede?
No, he's not a Stampede.
No?
No.
That's unfortunate.
But, I mean, the game's interesting. It differentiates itself off the bat by giving you 3 characters that start off in 3 separate locations, and you play until they converge into when they meet. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. Instead of just being one character and meeting new characters, you basically play the side characters and when they come together. And that's interesting. I like that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I got to play some of the later ones. I don't know if they keep that. I can't remember doing
Maybe
that.
not. I don't know.
Well, that's cool. Well, sometime I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, and I mean, it was $1. So I was like, if I've played this for an hour, I've gotten my money's worth, I feel.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep playing it, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I feel like we should get my NES controller sometime because it's the dog bone, and it's quieter when you click. It's a little
but then they can really tell.
Yeah, but then we don't have like Dragon Warriors. Yeah, it's Dragon Warrior. We don't have Dragon Warriors audio, so it's just the clicking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. In any case, Bob, what you been playing?
I've been playing more Fire Emblem. I mean,
okay.
I haven't had that much time to play things other than
things we've done for episodes.
Yeah.
Of Retro Boots in the weekly meeting,
Yeah, I don't count those.
which we shouldn't talk about because that would
They
be
aren't up
spoiling
yet, yeah.
what's coming soon for Retro Boots. Let's just say some classic PS2 arcade or action games.
Arcade, no.
Arcade action. First-person RPG adventure puzzle game.
Wow.
I feel like we should now try for the rest of our lives to make that game. I don't know what it is, but
it's something.
that's a thing. Maybe it's Skyrim when it's breaking. How puzzling this first-person adventure RPG is. None of this shit makes sense, and I think that chicken just reported me to the authorities. Did anyone? I feel like somebody probably did. Does anyone know if they made a mod to put that back into Skyrim? Because it was a glitch that happened in Skyrim right before launch.
Probably.
Like they were just playing the game and they couldn't find out why the main character kept getting reported for doing illegal things when no one was around to see it. But apparently the chicken AI was
in with the cops.
yeah, you just
Wow.
expect the chicken's there at the deputy office and he's like, "Hey, I got bad news. It's Tom again." And of course his head cocks back. And he's like looking random directions.
the ground.
He still has like full chicken mannerisms, but he's like saying all this in a really serious tone. But yeah, I would love to play with that mod. I own Skyrim.
That is weird.
I've never played Skyrim.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's okay.
It is what it is.
If
I
that's
think
your
the best
thing,
way
then
to
it's great.
explain it.
Yeah. I'm like, man, now I have like free time. I should play Skyrim.
Oh God.
What was what else have I been playing? Other than Fire Emblem and I've played a lot of Freedom Planet now.
Okay, well, let's keep this to a slight level. We'll just talk about it in passing to, give people excited for that review of Freedom Planet coming out later this week. But Bob, how did that treat you? Like, let's talk about it in terms of it's a date, right? Okay, so how bad did this date with Freedom Planet go?
What were the first impressions?
Yeah.
I mean,
Did she pick you up in her car?
Did she? Already, things are on the wrong side of the table. You're like, I can't run away.
oh no.
Shit, I can't drive away. Because she'll run me down with the car. But yeah, seriously.
I played a lot of Carol, and I still like the way that it feels like in stage. Like it has really bad running issues. I figured they'd fix that by the time it launched.
I mean, the demo really didn't have that.
Right, but
Like,
I
most
think
of the
one of those
demos
other
we played.
betas we got did. And
Yeah.
It was like, well, it's still a few months out. Maybe he's gonna fix this up, and no, not really.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping they would cut, where they needed to make it run a bit better. Multimedia Fusion is not the best engine.
No.
Both Bob and I have used it in the past, and its shortcomings are many.
You can buy it on Steam though.
Freedom Planet or Multimedia Fusion?
Multimedia Fusion.
I would say both, but yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's true. Any other
I'll
comments
also-
you want to say, like about?
The bosses are not good. I don't know what else to say about that.
Now, do you don't know what to say because you don't want to spoil it?
Basically.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. I just want to check, like, whether or not you had an opinion that was strongly formed or
not great.
whatever.
Not great and very stolen. I don't know.
So your date took you to
we
dinner.
don't use the word, but
Your date took you to dinner and
ordered.
ordered for you. Not a good sign.
And then some dude standing behind her in a nice suit kept staring at her and saying, "She stole my money. She stole my money. How dare you treat him to dinner with my 20?"
Wow, that's
So that
That's
date's
a pretty
pretty
bad
awkward.
date.
The whole time you're like, the steak is so stolen, but kind of tasty.
As she orders the bottle of wine, the whole bottle, just drink straight from it. I don't.
Gets sauced up as a motherfucker.
She starts looking at me.
Starts talking how she's a dragon. And she clearly doesn't look like a dragon. I'm gonna save all my comments for the
Okay.
review because I'm the one writing it. But
Yeah.
let me just go ahead and. Generally, we don't use the word stolen. The preferred word is derivative. And a lot of people out there rail against derivative video games all the time, like, hey, how's this any better than this stuff? You know, it's usually when something's popular.
Right.
Like Hotline Miami isn't that original, it's kind of derivative in that it isn't drastically different, in the opinion of some.
Okay.
Or this is a blank clone or something like that.
Yeah, which you don't see a huge amount of games on Steam where it's like, this is a blank clone. This is one where that's very justified. They use the physics engine they use is made by the Sonic fan community to replicate Sonic for their own like fan projects.
Right.
But then they made a game with that. And then on top of that, there's other Sonic stuff, which I'm going to talk about in the review. So saying it's derivative, saying it's a Sonic clone, saying like things that normally I would be like, hey dude, fucking chill, don't just throw that around. Like perfectly good games can be derivative.
Right. I'm
Right?
like-
Hotline Miami is considered by some to be derivative. That's a fucking great game. That's a really fun game that just has its own sort of style in a lot of ways. Freedom Planet doesn't really have that going for it. Visually, it's...
If you could boil down your entire thoughts and feelings of Freedom Planet into a single noise, what would that be? You heard it here, folks.
There we go. I
Okay,
think
great.
that's about...
I think that sums about everything up. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing else can be really said.
Okay,
So moving on.
so you've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem.
That's right. That's trying to unlock all those kids.
Children's,
Yes, children.
Children's.
chillins.
Yeah.
Chillins.
Yeah, it's
What a couple of guys were up to no good.
Started making chillins. Whoa.
Chili bees! God damn it, China, Illinois! Fuck you! Get out of my head! Never.
But yeah, I realized I could really just unlock all of them faster if I weren't so concerned about, I want to get this character to level 15 so he learns this skill so her kid learns that skill. Because when I break it down, I'm like, the game ends in like 2 chapters. Why do I need that? And it's like, I should have that.
I don't need smart kids. I just need a lot of them. Welcome to the South.
We're gonna win this war, damn it. But,
We're gonna breed you under the table.
any idea the amount of hours you've sunk into that?
Around 60, I think.
Okay, so I've sunk about a third as many hours, fastly approaching half as many hours in Freedom Planet. Okay.
Jeez. I've been playing Fire Emblem for like over a year now. It came out that long ago.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, yeah.
God,
I-
life slips away. You know, guys? That's terrifying. I thought that
Time
was
keeps on slipping.
slipping
But yeah,
into the Fire Emblem.
I switched off to other games and then came back. Like, this is after I've beaten Bravely Default and got most of the way through, or got a large chunk of the way through Ys.
Have you beaten these
I
yet?
haven't beaten it. I just started playing that instead after.
You need to beat it for its
Do
non-ending.
you have a physical copy of Ys?
No.
You have digital.
That's
because
right.
you both bought it on the
Yeah,
digital
both
sale.
digital,
yeah. Right.
Okay. Do you have a used copy of Ys at your store?
No. We have a new one. Yeah.
I thought someone was getting that for you for your birthday.
Shit, I still have that unopened in that closet. That's right.
Oh my god.
Well, we thought we would return it because I got like the Redonkulous edition, and I was like, Tosh, I'm not really into
Well, guess what?
Redonkulous editions.
Redonkulous edition away.
Okay,
Now you do have it.
apparently.
Deal.
I guess.
And a cloth map and maybe a compass.
Probably a compass. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think a journal of Adol's notes.
I guess
Fake fake notes.
You really shouldn't read other dudes' journals. That's
that's
just
not
weird.
polite. That's just weird. Are you gay? What? Oh no!
Just cast hurt.
Yep.
You're hurt.
He did like
So
3
hurt.
moves and lowered me from just about max health to dead.
Thou art fucked.
Remember to save while you're back here.
Giga butt fucked. Hey, you.
Man, you're
I'll
giga
save when I want. How about you? Stop kicking NESs.
I gotta kick that NES. I'm gonna do it.
If you do it, I will beat you up. I will film me beating the shit out of you with a GoPro and put it on our channel. Also, I feel like since this is now my full-time job, this and my freelance video editing and stuff like that I do for other sites like retroware.com, retrowaretv.com.
Nice resume, by the way.
Yes. I feel like it is now the onus is on me to get a GoPro and film mundane, stupid shit.
Set to smack my bitch up.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And beating you is just so mundane. That's an everyday...
Happens once a week, easily.
Yeah, easily. I'm a violent man.
I deserve it,
And that's why I'm a game reviewer.
I'm kind of a bitch.
Arian just keeps coming back for it, too. What is wrong with you?
It's so weird. It's just a little awkward.
I just come back, hurt me, Dan. Ooh, please.
Oh, Snake! Oh, yeah! I'm like, what the fuck, Eric? My name isn't Snake. The rest of that's normal.
I'm okay with the rest of that.
Yeah. Okay, so what I've been playing, I played a game we're going to be doing a quick play of later this week. It's called Aegis.
Aegis?
Oh, yeah, you saw you playing that.
I believe it's pronounced
Like
Aegis.
Aeon Flux.
I don't know.
It's that letter where it's the A and the E. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always pronounced it Aegis.
Okay.
Because everything else sounds...
It's the Aegean, okay?
The Aegean. Delicious. 10 out of 10.
The Aegean.
The Aegean, by the way, is a very delicious Greek restaurant, everyone who's listening.
I don't know if it's a franchised or not, but you know.
But I can still rub it in there.
Yeah, sure, why not?
People who podcast in California are constantly like, oh, yeah, I went to this restaurant. You guys on the East Coast don't even fucking have it. And I'm like, hey, I went to an actually good place.
What?
You guys are bragging about taco huts. Fuck you.
You got your taco out of a truck? Tell me more.
Tell me more. That's so interesting. I'll just sit here and eat my euro. Which I won't because I don't have that much disposable income anymore.
I'll just look and stare through the window at other people eating gyro.
It'll still be better than that taco. It'll still be better.
Will it, Dan?
No, because staring isn't food. But no, Aegis is a PC game that's going to be hitting Kickstarter sometime soon. I disagree with their categorization of the game, so I'm going to not say what they said. Come up with my own. It is a tower defense platformer game.
Okay.
So you get control of two characters. One of them has a gun and is a bit more actiony. They can set traps and stuff. And then the other one crafts things like turrets to fire at oncoming waves of enemies.
Do you control them simultaneously?
You can switch between them with the shoulder button, and if you switch to the crafting person, the gun person will just keep firing. So they're like their own
set up
turret.
an auto turret. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed when you were playing it, that is blatantly like influenced by Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
Yes.
It is just straight up
Well, the aesthetic style?
the aesthetics. The main characters both look like they're from the world. You're fighting bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cool, great.
You're underground.
But even still, you know what feels less sleazy than the Freedom Planet thing is the fact that Nausicaa isn't a game.
Okay, I mean everyone's stolen from Nausicaa. Chocobos came from Nausicaa.
No, they didn't. I don't want to admit that. Don't make me. But yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Chocobos came from.
Oh, okay. No, Chocoboos.
Chocoboots.
Chocoricos.
Choco churros. Chirocobos. They're churro chocoboos. There we go. Yeah. What?
They're delicious.
What? Back at you. What the fuck?
You see, you start with just one churros, then you get like a dozen more churros, and you make the statue.
What am I going to do with 300 churros?
So in any case, so I played Aegis. You guys will see that quick play later this week. And that Kickstarter is going to start at the beginning of next month, basically the end of this month. What else? I played 23 hours of Freedom Planet.
And you love it. I mean, why else would you spend 23 hours on it?
Because I need to spend a lot of time. Like some games, it's instantly apparent what's wrong. You know? Like some games you could just go, like Mercenary Kings, none of the systems came into play very well by the end of the game, and the end of the game wasn't polished, which is a hallmark of a Kickstarter game, if you ask me. On paper, this sounds a lot better than it was executed, is like the hallmark of a Kickstarter game.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're like, we need funding. What is it gonna be? Well, it's gonna be like Monster Hunter meets Contra.
And Metal Slug, too.
Yeah, Metal Slug, too.
But then along comes Shovel Knight like some sort of shining golden god.
But admittedly, that was a spin-off of an
Yeah.
actual game development company.
Yeah.
Whereas, I guess Mercenary Kings is the same level? Yeah, the people who made Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, right.
Scoot Pilgrims.
Scoot Pilgrims. So I guess they're the same level. Freedom Planet definitely isn't. That guy made a bunch of games, but they're all just random, tiny little indie games. At one point, he actually said he was going to sell it directly via his website.
Huh.
But that's clearly not the case.
Guess
so
not, yeah.
What else? I need to not talk about Freedom Planet. Daniel, go to your happy place.
Destiny. You play Destiny.
I played Destiny, which we'll talk about later.
Probably play Destiny after the podcast too, because it's back up.
I don't know. I really want to get that Freedom Planet review.
I'll play Destiny. How about that?
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't care. I'm actually going through Freedom Planet at the moment to really nail this down. I'm going through it, grabbing like all the cards, which are collectibles in the game, that get you nothing.
Oh, God.
That's the most succinct way of stating what the cards are. They're collectible. Gotta catch them all. So...
That's one thing that always upsets me in games. Like, when you put a collectible in, and it does nothing. Like,
Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah, my go-to example of this is Ninja Gaiden 2, which is not a complete game.
Oh,
That
yeah,
game
no.
is not done.
That game isn't done,
He
no.
launched it and booked it.
Yeah, like everyone left that company as soon as that game launched. Team Ninja basically exploded.
See, I don't know. For me, the ultimate offender for that is Pokemon.
Yeah?
It's in the
Okay.
tagline.
Well, here's
Gotta
the
catch
thing.
them all.
And you people who don't play Pokemon still apparently just never click. Each one is its own accomplishment and meaningful. A card that looks the same as the
guess
last
so.
99
Potentially.
is not Pikachu.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
Okay.
But if we're a game where it's literally in the tagline, collect all the things,
Yeah.
when you collect all the things, all you get is some guy going, good job.
Yeah, but
That's it.
Like, here's the thing: you can properly shit on them for not having like a. Oh, cool!
At
I
least
got
he
away.
tells you good job.
I guess there's that.
There is that. I'm worried that I'm gonna get them all in Freedom Planet and absolutely nothing's gonna happen. Other than I'm gonna look at it and go, why did I spend so much time on this?
Watch it unlocks a better game.
Here's your copy of Spirit Wizorb.
Wow.
Thanks. Thank you.
Purchase
Wow. I already own this, but thanks.
I get to own it twice. Thank you.
That's pretty bitchin'. Yeah, no, like at least in Pokemon, that is a part of the core gameplay mechanic.
I guess, but it's just the idea of it's in the tag of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the advertising. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, when
it's
you do it, nothing.
yeah.
That's just how that's how it bites.
Let's be
me.
honest.
I
You
think
never collected them all. There are always more. Like 2 years, they find another 100 of them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know I helped my brother. I deleted my save to help my brother get them all, like restarting my game over and over and letting him have all the starters and trading them to him so he could get them all. And what happened was he got that shitty certificate that just said, Professor Oak says, congratulations, you did it. That's it. Nothing. Fuck you, Professor Oak.
man, I should go finish getting them all.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm pretty close. That can be its own weekly series. Dan has
Getting
a problem.
them all. Dan gets it all. Dan gets
Dan gets it all.
Dan
Wow.
gets some.
Get some, son. But yeah, okay, so enough about Freedom Planet, enough about Pokemon. What else have I been playing? I really want to play Arcade Craft. I own that on Steam. It's a great, fun game. We did that quick play of the Xbox Live Indie Games version a long time ago, and they added a lot for the PC version. And really, even after we stopped playing the Xbox Live Indie Games version, they added a lot.
Huh.
So I'm really excited to go play that. We may do a quick play or just like a let's play or something, because it's a really fun simulation type game. That and Game Dev Tycoon are my two games that I'm sort of looking at like, man, I just want to do like videos of these. Like, they're really fun. What's up, Bob?
I was thinking, like, it's not a game, but I think we all played it. It's that new episode of Sailor Moon.
No, God.
So we're gonna be that guy on YouTube who films him and his friends watching anime.
No.
You sure?
I don't know if
Maybe.
I would call that anime.
I
or-
just, like...
I barely call it animation.
I I feel it's something that our fan base would want to see.
Okay, so you're just bringing it up as a hey, this is a cool thing we all did.
Yeah.
Okay, not as a we should make a video.
No.
It is a thing that happened and we experienced together as a group.
It's not gay, so don't even ask.
I mean,
audience.
my dick was out. I don't know about theirs, but
I didn't look, so I'm not gay. I was in the room with a man with his dick out, but I didn't see it, so I'm straight as hell.
Wow.
I still love that quote for that one podcast. Aggro, how many men have you made gay? Because we were saying that
no, I
looking
asserted,
at pictures,
yes.
you asserted that by looking at pictures of other men, you made them gay. Look at how aroused I am. That's your fault, you gay person, you.
How dare you be that sexy?
You sexy gay man who is doing this to my pee-pee. But yeah,
making me experience feelings.
these tears.
Something else.
So moving away from that quickly, I don't know if I've played anything else in the last week. You actually played Gunstar on your Game Boy Advance for a little bit.
I did play that for like a second.
Why did you play that, Bob? Would you like to share?
I wanted to play a treasure boss made by Treasure.
Okay.
I was actually checking if they had life bars in Gunstar, because
Yes.
it feels like the enemies in Freedom Planet should have life bars. But
They
don't.
should. It feels like an eternity because they have really long health bars, which I'm kind of okay with. But
yeah, it'd be nice to know if does this move actually do more damage? Am I hitting
Yeah.
him the right way?
like most enemies in the games are pushovers, so you don't really get a good sense of how much damage each attack does.
Right.
So yeah, it would be really nice to get a health bar. But yeah, I think that's all we played. That wasn't Retro Roots or the weekly meeting, which we have been working hard on that stuff for the last week. So now we get to move on to making more What Indie Hell and making a new series.
Really?
Dude, people love it.
There's more?
There's always more.
There's always more. You know I have an iPhone, right?
Games. Oh god, no.
What was Ninja Gaiden 3 did that same thing of bosses don't have health bars because it makes it more visceral. Like,
Yes.
that was dumb.
What
Yes.
Indie Hell has become, let's subject Eric and Dr. Aggro to the worst the internet has to offer.
Become.
Well, started
Sorry.
out as me and you.
Yeah, it did. I don't think anything about the subject material has changed. I think it stayed pretty truthful to the original vision.
Still about you enjoying the suffering of others.
It's basically about oil rigging. We're dredging up the nasty, viscous, and life-choking element of the game industry. Just straight up out of the earth and into our veins.
The
and
dark
you get to
underbelly
watch
pumped
us
right into
thrash.
our eyes.
Yeah.
While we sit there, Clockwork Orange style, going, please, no! God, no!
That's an idea for an intro. I've been trying this whole time. I'm like, I need an intro. Oh, Clockwork Orange, huh? Much regret.
So much regret. I hope I still have my eyes by next week.
So with that done, let's go ahead and move on to the news roundup. Or maybe take
Yeehaw.
a quick break. You guys need a break?
Okay.
Maybe they need a break from us?
Maybe you guys need a break.
Why don't you guys go take a seat, go look out the window, go take a walk, enjoy your loved ones.
Just stretch.
You should have stretched before listening to the podcast. I mean, you could pull something
Yeah, absolutely.
from all the karate you're doing.
Don't
naked.
forget doing the cooldown afterwards too.
Yeah, don't want to like go straight into your bed and then have your sweaty body like fill up the bed sheets with heat and warmth, because well maybe if they cool down afterwards they'll be too cold because they're practicing karate naked while listening to this. As we all know,
Of course.
thanks for the tip, viewers. Welcome to the news roundup. Battlefield Hardline has been delayed to early 2015. Reasons cited were polish, adding more depth to the single player, and game stability. Dragon Age was also pushed back to November.
Wow.
Well,
So EA.
EA had a fun
It
day.
really shows why E3 was like that for them.
Yeah, they weren't even ready for games
that are kind
this
of
year.
not even.
Here's the
done.
games we're dreaming about them.
In this game, you can drive off-road.
What?
Wow, Criterion's doing that? That's depressing. I hope that game isn't cross-gen.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not even like they don't even have anything looking like close to
A final version,
build,
so we have nothing to
So I'm like,
work with.
if it's cross-gen, it'd be like in 2016,
Yeah,
and that's insane.
yeah, but publishers are insane.
Yeah.
At least that next Doom game isn't coming out cross-gen, so they showed off Doom at QuakeCon.
One more thing about this.
Oh,
this
nope, we're moving on.
We're stopping the
Battlefield
segue.
Hardline.
Fine.
Because
It's such a
what
good
are they
segue,
making
dude.
for it? Or why are they even making that if it's not even hitting this year?
Because they are pretending to be committed to a polished experience, which it only occurred to them recently how fucked they are when it comes to their fans.
Okay.
Can I say real quick how cross-gen is a very depressing term?
Yeah.
I know you want to hit the widest market, but what the fuck?
Yeah. I feel like this last gen was too rough, and it just made cruel, terrible business people out of most of this industry. Like, they just don't care about the quality of product. They're like, this many more people could buy our piece of shit. Maybe, just maybe, it wouldn't be a piece of shit if it weren't on everything.
Right.
He's like, hey, dude, look, our charts show that a lot of people with the N-Gage QD really need this game. I'm like, really, Destiny?
Oh man. And Dragon Age also is cross-gen. That's crazy. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
The only thing it has going for it is that they want it to look pretty. But it doesn't even really do that very well. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Because it's cross-gen.
Well, I'm dead. Again. Oh, wait. Nope. Just barely alive. Now begins the heal battle.
So do you heal or hurt?
What are you, Mr. Peabody? Do you heal or hurt? I don't know, man. You sounded like the dog. Are you a dog? Please don't be a dog. I just came from Freedom Planet. I don't need more of that.
Bark, bark.
No!
It's okay.
I'm a dog, bark.
Bison!
This is delicious.
But yeah, EA was really not prepared at all, which was the topic of the rant is good that I wrote 18 days ago.
Huh.
Yeah, still haven't made that video. Still playing catch up. Like, because we're
Gotcha.
building up the proper pipeline for these episodes of the weekly series.
Right.
So, unfortunately, edited stuff like that. Outside of reviews, which luckily we're keeping up with that. Yeah. Kind of getting stuck behind. But oh well, I'm sure I will be able to throw out that episode of the Rant is Go eventually.
So
And
what's
now
this
you have
about?
more fuel.
What's this about Doom?
So, Doom was shown off at QuakeCon by id. It features double jumping, ripping off limbs, and tons of ludicrous gibs flying through the air. And it also has skull crushing and shit. It apparently runs on id Tech 6, and no video has been shown yet. So they finally stopped making a dumb Call of Duty clone and just made Doom.
Thanks for that.
Well, I mean, the last one was more of a Half-Life clone, to be honest.
No, like the in
Okay,
development
yeah.
versions of Doom 4 were apparently over and over again Call of Duty. They're like, God, this still isn't working. And it's like, well, yeah, you know you're making Doom, right?
I heard it had a mechanic kind of like Resident Evil's, where you can shoot the enemy in the knee and then go bust his head in.
Wow, that's weird for a first person.
Right?
game. Use bust a cap on man. But yeah, so I've heard tons of people being ecstatic over the showing that they had at QuakeCon.
I also heard that people booed when they said it was coming to next-gen consoles.
Really?
QuakeCon.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
sorry.
PC Master Race, guys.
It's not on Windows 95. It ain't shit.
You got it. If it's not on Games for Windows Live,
Oh my god.
it ain't shit. I don't actually believe that. Just throwing this out there. But in any case, yeah, so fuck those guys. They don't know how powerful the PS4 is.
They don't know about the power.
They don't. They're like, it's a dumb laptop. And I'm like, then why is Infamous prettier than anything on PC? And they're like,
It's not, Dan. Crysis is way better looking. That's what they will all tell you.
I could craft a PC in the forges of my imagination that could run that better, is what they say.
Usually, yeah. It angers me because if you're going to be PC Master Race, the least you could do is have a better understanding of video games. Like, even vaguely. Not just be some asshole who's a rich kid.
Now, let's be fair. PC Master Race is the whitest of white privilege.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, you feminists saying check your privilege at the door. You should be aiming that at the PC Master Race. That's
Because
all
the
I'm
amount
saying.
of money and leisure time activity you have to have in order to craft a PC that makes you worthy of it being better than a console is ludicrous.
Yeah, it is. Which a lot of that just comes down to, as games have gotten more complicated, getting a PC that's going to run the games that run on consoles as well as they do on consoles is getting harder and harder. And this gen is only going to make that problem even harder. Which is why OpenGL and DirectX are all pushing, though they haven't gotten around to implementing it, the whole, we're making this streamlined, we're sorry for the past decade. Because they need thinner versions that aren't as bloated and blah, blah, blah to run. PC Master Race! Okay, I'm done. So moving on. Saban, the people who own Power Rangers as an IP in the States, is suing Behold Studios for the game Chroma Squad because it's a Sentai RPG, and that's infringing on Saban's Power Ranger copyright.
Oh.
Because Power Rangers is the only Sentai series worldwide. Now, the interesting part to me, these people aren't even in North America.
Wow, what? Where are they?
They're like in Brazil. They're in South America.
So they're laughing their asses off like...
No,
Really?
because they're not in China.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And this was going to be a lawsuit. Like they were just going to bring it up front. But Behold Studios is currently working with Saban to make a deal where Saban can be paid royalties from the sales of Chroma Squad.
That's crazy.
And this is what's wrong with the world.
Good thing Disgaea hides those guys so far into the game.
Right? Plus, man, I think Saban would have to grow an extra pair of nuts to sue a Japanese company parodying Sentai.
Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would pay to see that.
I would too. Yes, hi, you're crazy.
So you're suing us over what?
Us parodying our own culture.
Yeah.
Let me think about this. Fuck you. Good sir. Fuck you.
Do you like sex and travel? Fuck off.
So apparently, Xbox One sales have more than doubled because in May because of the new SKU that doesn't bundle the Kinect.
Imagine that.
Microsoft
Wow.
still hasn't said what the sales in May were. So, not sure if actually impressed.
Not sure if serious.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that.
I mean, that story speaks for itself a little bit.
Yeah, it's just like,
Well,
that's great that it doubled. Contextually, though, that doesn't mean anything because they were doing terribly. That's why they did that.
Yeah.
And it's not even doubled April or doubled like March or any other better month. It's doubled May. May was after they announced they were doing that. Like, that was the month where people were waiting.
Oh god, I didn't think about that. So wait, it's doubled since May? Like
June
was
has doubled May's sales.
Wow, yeah, you're right. They announced it in May, so no one would buy it. That is
Impressive, Microsoft. Impressive. Marty O'Donnell, the composer who formerly worked at Bungie, won his suit against Bungie and received $95,019.19 in compensation for unpaid time off and other benefits. So now I can play Destiny and feel less shit about that man getting shit canned. Because, hey, he got his.
He got some stuff. I mean, he doesn't work at Bungie anymore.
Which is dumb on their part.
But he still
Honestly,
gets to make amazing music, so...
as everyone's all happy and excited for Destiny and stuff, I'm just sort of sitting here and pondering the morose nature of all this. Because if you think about it, the way Activision keeps talking about Destiny, they're going to keep Bungie shackled to that for this entire next generation.
Yeah, this is true. It's
making DLC. And now they don't even have a composer. So it's just going to be the same songs you heard through all those other levels.
I have to wonder if it's going to be... Because they talked about it being a 10-year cycle, if they're going to be eventually be like, oh, Destiny 2 is how it continues, or if it is just going to be expansion after expansion.
I think if that's happening, if Destiny 2 is coming, that's probably like at least 3 years
I can only
out.
imagine
Right.
Bungie's like, man, we're finally free of the shackles of Microsoft. We don't have to make the same game over and over again. We could make as many games as we want. Destiny forever the next 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, we recorded podcast shortly after it was announced they were working with Activision, where I was fucking furious because such a fate was obvious. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Right, it's like you get out of stuck for one franchise for so long, you'd think that they want something more free, but they just goes to Activision, of all people, who turned Infinity Ward into a Call of Duty house until they destroyed it.
Yep. And then they combined that with Neversoft, who, similar story, turned them into a Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk house until they destroyed it.
But then Blizzard, they kind of went, wow, this is just a money-making machine. Let's not touch it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, but I feel like that was already damaged goods by the time they showed up.
This is to make it money hand over fist.
It's declining. I mean, if you want to talk business, we'll talk business. They've merged with Blizzard at the height.
Okay.
It has been downward since.
Okay.
And all of their good creative work was behind them when they merged.
Fine.
That's what I was just saying.
Still a lot of money.
I mean,
they're still making a shit ton of money. That's all I'm making the point for.
I don't have exact numbers on that, do you?
It's still like I believe there was a like top grossing MMO thing released last.
Top grossing MMO. No shit.
They're still number one, a wide margin. That's a lot of money.
But you're also talking gross. You're not talking profits and any number of other things. You're talking about a pretty much barren genre. Like MMOs tanked hard. So many of them had to go free to play in order to stay alive.
I know, and yet Blizzard still has the pay subscription model and are still thriving. Right. Still doing well.
Right. I'm just saying, overall, you wanted to talk business. You came into business
I didn't
town.
want to talk business. I said Blizzard makes a lot of money. Wow, that's the most in-depth comment I've ever made in my life.
You're just like, hey, they saw that Blizzard is on the right track. That is basically what you said, and they didn't change anything.
Machine and didn't. Has Activision honestly tampered with Blizzard all that much? Do you think?
No. I'm just saying they're not on the right track. I
didn't say anything about qualitative statements about right tracks or not. I said they are a money-making machine.
And they didn't touch it.
Yeah. That is all the thing that I made.
Okay, the thing about money-making machines, they generally go up. Like the DS, that was insane. Like that, just very nice, kept going higher and higher. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the peak of MMOs, do you? I'm done. Nope. Until I have numbers in front of me, I'm not saying another fucking word on this.
I have stopped caring.
Yeah, I know. You came in without care. You were just like, I'm going to say these words.
I'm going to say a quick little thing about Blizzard and money. And you were like,
let's talk about
dare you?
No, I was like, let's talk about Activ Blizzard. Fuck you. But yeah, no, I just... Activision's going to fucking ruin Bungie. They're going to tear their asshole so far wide open. They shit-canned their composer who had been there for like 1 billion years before their game shipped.
Yeah, maybe they were like, we're just gonna hire you on as a contractor later on. That'll work.
That is totally the big business way to do that. Which, of course, doesn't get people like Marty O Donnell. Like, I doubt that guy would ever do that. Because it's like, you guys shit-canned me right before the game I worked on came out. Which, to be fair, probably to avoid paying him bonuses. We don't know that they didn't have, like, because a lot of employees of video game development companies do get bonuses based on sales or Metacritics of games.
Right.
Since he's so high up in the division he works in, it is very, very likely he could have been headed towards those bonuses. So I doubt he would be really primed to go work for them. They're probably just going to get some other guy who's not going to produce as good of music, and Activision themselves doesn't care because they're like, what, your game has music? I mean, look at Call of Duty. They occasionally get big-name composers, but they make, like, a couple of the themes in the game, and then it seems like the rest of them are made by a completely different person and don't even mesh.
But they get the name on it.
They get the name on the box.
Williams.
Which is a very THQ thing to do. Harry Gregson Williams.
Okay.
But I got like, oh man, I can't remember the name of the actor, but the guy in Dumb and Dumber who isn't Jim Carrey, like him combined with how Harry Gregson Williams looks, it was bad. It was really, really bad.
I don't think I've ever seen Harry Gregson Williams.
I've seen him in the behind the scenes for Metal Gear Solid 4.
Huh.
Yeah. Which, man, everybody... Okay, you want some good entertainment, people at home. Go watch that behind the scenes Blu-ray for Metal Gear Solid 4. Because, like, some of my favorite lines in douchiness come from that thing. This is Snake. Can you read me, Otacon? Okay, imagine this is the player's first time. And fucking David Hayter gives this look. He just looks at the person who told him that with this, what the fuck do you mean, stare? And he's like, this is Snake. Do you read me, Otacon? And then she's like, good. I'm just like, what? Where else? And the whole thing's like that. The whole thing's just a bunch of things like that happening occasionally. Harry Gregson Williams is like, Kojima wanted a really sad theme, so I got this guy who plays Spanish guitar, and this is the love theme for the game. I don't know where it goes, but because it's like they call it that. In case you didn't know, it's the love theme.
Yeah, I knew it was that, but
they play it over like desolate battlefields and people dying.
Love.
So much love.
There really wasn't any love in Metal Gear Solid 4 except for the extremely forced love story between
Super nerd love.
Meryl and...
Oh, and...
Oh, did I tell you Akiba? Like, I finally understand why he's called Akiba.
Why? What?
This is like one of my worst points
I'm
with the
buckled
story
in. I'm
now.
waiting for it.
This is almost topping my list of problems with MGS4. It's so stupid. It's short for Akihabara. Meryl, a North American Caucasian female, is calling this other white dude from North America Akiba as slang for short for Akihabara, which is a electronics district in Japan. So she's calling him short word slang for nerd in Japanese. How does that make even an ounce of fucking sense? Like, you just expect her to be like Akiba and him turn around, weeaboo.
I quit video games.
Okay, see ya. Bye. MGS4 does that to people, to be honest.
I feel like that's one of those things that they should not have, like the American translation team should not have let stay.
Absolutely not, but no one wanted to stand up to Kojima.
Right.
I still feel like that's the attitude at that studio. Because otherwise, how did Ground Zeroes happen? I still don't get, like, we got this Hollywood actor to voice this one character, and then we got bottom of the bucket voice actors to voice the guy who talks the most in the game.
I got my nephew.
They played us like a fiddle. Thanks for whatever
Great, that was good. That was good. Thanks.
Now, what if it was the player's first time? They played us like a goddamn fiddle.
Now say it as if you were a good voice actor. Oh, okay.
They played us like a fiddle.
Like who?
Probably wouldn't say this line. Jeez.
Oh man, good voice actors would probably just walk through that door and never come back.
I demand more money. Would that be good? Yeah, great, good. Sounds exactly like that.
That is, we hear that all the time. Speaking of which, where is Hater?
Producing movies that are probably not worth watching.
Is he?
Yeah, well,
Great.
he released. He directed that werewolf movie. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
A werewolf movie.
Yeah.
Huh?
Apparently, the people have compared it to Twilight, but it's more violent than Twilight, so I don't know. We can look it up later. It's probably terrible.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting.
Your weapon's a bamboo pole?
Yeah, I really need any weapon better than that. But as you can see, club is 60 and copper sword's 180. I feel like just grinding to the copper sword, to be honest.
How much money do you get per battle?
Too little, man. It's this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on some leather armor so I stop dying so quickly. I will buy your clothes for 10 gold.
I will buy
That's
thine
a fucking
clothes
weird
for
shit.
10.
You walk into a fucking clothing store and he's like, "Hey, you buying this T-shirt? That's nice. I'll buy the clothes you're wearing right now for 10.
Give me your pants.
$10.
I'll give you a good price.
What you buying? What you selling?
What Want to take your clothes off, stranger?
Hey, stranger.
No.
Looking nice.
I gotta go back out there.
You've been
pretty
working out,
swole.
stranger. That was a nice jog, stranger.
Here.
What happened to your jacket, stranger?
This oil's for free, strange.
So, yeah, that is the news roundup. We're gonna come back in just a second to talk about Destiny. Hey guys, and welcome to the Destiny Roundtable. Now, we've actually played quite a lot of Destiny. Myself, I've probably dumped an unreasonable amount of hours just into the Crucible. I would estimate at least 8, just in the Crucible. But I've completed all the story missions. Bob has done the same,
Yes.
and Eric
I have
over
completed
here.
all the story missions, but I have not gotten to max level yet.
Yes, and you didn't beat, what was it?
The
The-
raid.
the raid.
No,
Strike.
the strike.
Strike.
Yeah,
Strike.
Strike.
Raid strike.
Which is the
Dungeon.
level 6, what was that, up to 6 people could do that one?
Something
I
like-
forget.
Yeah, that sounds. I don't know.
Yeah. And then the hard mode of that, which it isn't even labeled hard for some reason. They don't feel like making you feel nice about that. It's labeled normal again,
Normal level 8
but it's level
for you
8.
normies.
Normal and extra normal.
Yeah, extra normal. Not a compliment, ladies. So in any case, Destiny. So now Eric, you're not really a shooter guy.
No, I'm not.
And yeah, Destiny made you feel
I had feelings. It made me feel things I never felt before.
with my penis. Now, what class did you play again?
I played as the Titan class
Okay.
because and that was oddly enough the class best suited for me because I'm not great at FPSs. So having a class that could take bullets to the face and live was good. It was
Yeah.
good for me.
I feel like the moment where Destiny really grips most people is when it gives you the descriptions when you're trying to make a character at the beginning.
Oh my god. Some of the best sentences crafted by man are in the
I
description.
hope to God they kept the writer.
Yeah, God.
Because Jesus, they know exactly what you want out of this game. They know what you like about D&D and like video game lore and sci-fi, and they combine it all into these ridiculously amazing sentences.
Oh, yeah.
To describe tons of different things.
What was the golden gun? Craft a gun out of nothing
Out of like the power of the sun or something.
to incinerate or obliterate something your enemy. Like, oh my, I need to write it down
Yeah, I
and
think it like
memorize
focuses light and.
Yeah,
something.
it was pretty incredible. Of course, the Warlock, which is what I played as, had that wonderful sentence talking about mastering the universe's ethers and whatnot, energies to make it conform
to
to your
annihilate
will.
your foes.
And and annihilate your foes. Like, it's just so spot on. So I played a Warlock, you played a Titan.
I
which
played
is confusing because it's Titanfall early this year. We kept making jokes about, Titanfall every time they would do the smash attack.
Which is incredible. I just want to say, Warlock, shoots a ball of energy. The Hunter Ranger guy shoots a cool golden gun thing. The Titan shoots himself, just flies forward and bashes the shit out of everything in a radius. It's great.
It is, and insanely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, that's one of those things. With the Crucible, it's hard to deal with running into.
Yeah, because you're holding a point and some weirdo just flies out of
Well,
nowhere.
I hope no one flies through the air and bashes. Oh no, it's happening.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And Bob, you played the
Hunter.
The Hunter.
What's the Hunter?
The Hunter. So I actually played multiple in the beta.
Played the Blade
or
King.
alpha. I played the Blade.
I'm sorry, Dad.
So Freedom Planet reminded me of a terrible game that I wanted to do a review of a long time ago called Blade Kitten. And ever since I've been like almost finished with the scripting process for this Freedom Planet review, I want to go back and play Blade Kitten again.
I remember that. You were furious that you owned it.
Yes. Viciously furious that I owned it. How dare I? Oh, I'm gonna review this fucking idiot. No, you won't. You're Daniel. But in any case, so the hunter has the knife. I actually got to play as you a bit in the Crucible when I was getting that footage of the Mars level. The knife is pretty weird because you do the melee with that key, but if no one's right in front of you, you throw the knife.
Yeah.
Now, is that a one-hit kill, or is that just like a significant amount of damage?
It's a high damage thing, but honestly, in Crucible it feels like it should be higher damage.
Yeah.
That should be a one-hit kill. But if you knock down their shield, I'm pretty sure they'll kill him after that.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll usually, if they have full shield, full health, so you throw it into them, it knocks them down to about a third of their just regular health left.
Okay.
All I know is it's extra hilarious when you use that skill against a boss.
Yes.
Or giant hulking tank thing or floating eyeball, you're like, ah!
It's
Take that,
Good
sheep.
job, Bob. You threw your knife at a tank. What the fuck is this guy's problem?
I'm so cool.
It's like one
Here
of my
I am with
Japanese anime.
Here I am with my rocket launcher, be like an idiot.
Casting fucking orbs at it that cause constant dots. You just fucking throws a knife. Fuck.
Admittedly, I would run up and just punch it with my thunder fist and see how much damage that does.
Which, I've seen. I've seen people just charge it, do that, and then get blown to shit.
Of course, I mean, what else shit's gonna happen?
What the fuck do you think a tank that's brushing nips with you is gonna do? Jesus. But yeah, I'm glad that there's an intro cutscene and everything now. It offers a lot more context for the game universe.
Yeah.
I feel like the that wizard came from the moon line probably wouldn't have gotten so much weird ire from the internet, and probably would still be in the game if there was even that intro cutscene, because that clearly covers like we're on other worlds and it's outer space and the darkness. Meanwhile, the original alpha is just like you're trotting along, you're on a planet. Oh, and that wizard came from the moon.
Right, and for people who have followed the game at all, they know that. Wait, this is the whole universe we're dealing with and whatnot. But I guess
of course, the wizard
layman's.
from the moon. Okay,
Yeah.
good. The
So
moon's
they're
in
taking
place.
the moon. Okay, that's a good context. That's a good knowledge bit about the universe in this game.
I wish that they didn't take out the other line about the hive being sealed on the moon. Like, even if the wizard on the moon line is just too much for you, the other part is actually like gives you some knowledge about what
Like useful information.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you want to know why he's surprised that they're on this planet and sealed.
yeah, and then you sort of, from that, you sort of get to the point of like you understand more about the universe, and from them removing that, I'm sort of like they're already treading on the writer because of what random idiots on the internet said.
Yeah, it's just
Great.
really worrying for what's to come. Like, is Activision going to bend their knee to everything? I don't know.
It's a weird climate for publishers, like period. Like just everyone's looking for every reason to crucify them. And it really shouldn't be something like that. And it makes them, overly sensitive.
Right.
Like that clearly wasn't taken well by someone,
Yeah,
whether
that
it's at Bungie or Activision or whatever. But yeah, I really like.
Maybe they took it out for the beta to make people happy, and then they're going to shove it back in.
I do
the
fully.
game.
I do suspect a
they said that
Coke,
they are-
new Coke thing.
They have said it's going to change again for the full game.
Okay. Well, I'm totally cool with them pulling the classic Coke, new Coke thing.
Right.
Just like, there, we removed it. How much better is it? Oh, what's that? The game still takes place in space? Who would have thought that
There
would
are
have
still
happened?
wizards on the moon. You go to the moon and fight wizards, really?
Sorry, guys. We tried to change it at the last minute, but we're not fucking morons.
Take out the wizards. I can play as a wizard. I don't want them to play as wizards, so.
I'm a warlock. That makes sense to me. Wizards are dumb. Oh, I see what you're saying. One moment, pulls out gun, and just blows him away. And then that dude's just like straight up Red Letter Media style. Oh, fuck! Because it just gets filled with bullets and bleeds everywhere. Way over the top.
One more thing on the knife throw.
Yeah.
I wish that were a separate button, because I feel like...
You want to
You
melee.
do it accidentally
yeah,
so much.
I would actually accidentally do it a lot, and when I'm doing single player, I like being able to just hit things when I'm near them. Like, oh, I want to see how the environment's going to interact with this. But then I throw my knife at it, and I have to do a cooldown on the knife, and then I get stuff.
Wow, okay. I didn't even know about that usage case. That's... Huh.
Yeah.
That kind of stinks.
I'm really looking forward to unlocking that other version of the class where instead of the golden gun, you get some ridiculous like anime dash or something.
The Blade Dancer
Yeah, the
or whatever.
Blade Dancer.
Sounds sexy.
You also get the ability to, instead of double jump, blink. So you teleport.
Great.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
pretty great. What I found interesting is the hunter has a double jump, just a normal double jump, whereas the warlock has a glide.
Right.
So
does the Titan.
Yeah. So
Right.
when you do that glide, it like reduces the gravity for you. So based on the speed of your jump, when you activate the glide, you can actually go even higher and physics stuff like that. With the hunter's double jump, you get propelled forward really fast when you do that. Like just getting used to that, I was like, wow, this isn't a passive like I'm moving the same speed.
Yeah.
There's a good like kick. A
Yeah,
boost
I really
going
like the
forward.
double jump.
I like that too. Yeah.
Now that's if you notice the people falling off that ledge in the Crucible map that has like the pillar you can jump onto to get to area
Are
B.
hunters.
Are hunters, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get used to that. You can't run into it. Like if you run, you're gonna kill yourself.
Now, before you get the, okay, good, that wizard's dead.
Is he from the moon?
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. He's a fucking corpse.
Now he's in the earth.
Now he's in the earth, son. But yeah, as a warlock even, it's actually really hard to make that curve unless you go insanely slow, which opens you up to being shot to death. Until, at a higher level, you get this ability to have more control over your glide. Just to describe what we're talking about, there's a sharp corner at the edge of one of these maps where there isn't normal land. You have to go out a good bit where there's just this gap. And then there's a pillar of land, and then you can jump from that over to the left where this capture point is. So it's a real hot spot for this area. At the higher level, you can control the glide. So you can just do a running jump to a glide and just make the whole turn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's great.
Sweet.
It's freaking awesome.
Now the hunter can get triple jumps eventually, and that sounds beautiful.
That sounds like that'll fix all of that for the hunter.
Just
You
like
just get
whoosh.
to do the cool, or that blink.
Screw attack
Yeah.
over everything.
Yeah. Man, that would be, like, how many people would just rage at the game if it got a screw attack? This is dumb! Your out of space game with wizards is dumb? Weird. I'm sorry, sweetie. Do you want Call of Duty? And he's like, yes, I want to go back to Call of Duty. Call of Duty now has wizards from outer space. God damn it, video games is ruined.
There's wizards everywhere.
Oh no, I went up. I was
God.
okay. I'm on the stairs. It's okay, everyone. I can escape.
You can use stairs. Now, I want to say, for me personally, I became invested in Destiny as a concept, an IP, as a brand, as soon as Dan busted out that speeder bike.
Yep, just fucking Star Wars style speeder
If you go
bike.
look at that quick play, you can see the exact moment where my heart begins to yearn. Hard. What you don't see after me going, oh my god, several times is just me sitting back with my mouth agape, smiling like I've just received the best blowjob in the world.
Because he did.
And then I did it in game for myself, and I did it twice as hard. Like, that fills me with so much joy.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm talking about. Like this mastery of understanding, like sci-fi, D&D, all sorts of like stuff like that. This is what you like. Being able to fucking put out your hand and spawn a fucking speeder bike from Star Wars.
To basically Tron it up, put out your hands, and just a bike forms there, and you zip away.
Shaboom.
Bam.
I'm hoping like we got the pike bikes in the multiplayer mode, so I'm thinking we'll eventually be able to get that in single player as well. And
Yeah.
those are like speeder bikes with lasers on the front.
Great.
Yes, it is
Okay.
great. And they are even faster. It's
Where did it say? GigaBoots, search the ground. There's a treasure box. Do I have to?
Do you have to take box? You found the tablet.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm Erdrick, and thou art my descendant. 3 items were needed to reach the Isle of Dragons, which is south of Breckenary. I gathered these items, reached the island, and there defeated a creature of great evil. Now I have entrusted the 3 items to the 3 worthy keepers. Their descendants will protect the items until thy quest leads thee to seek them out. A new evil rises, find the 3 items, then fight.
Okay.
All right.
Then beat him up.
Don't
Then
you
go
have
for
like a
broke.
rope to get out of here?
No, I don't. I also don't have an Abra. But yeah, I love that they just know the buttons. Like Bungie really knows what like people want to see in their games, and it's the sort of people who aren't even really into first-person shooters, like Eric here, who really isn't into shooters. Nope. They're just like, here's this for you. This is for everyone. Because the shooter people, we're sort of at a point where they just want a good shooter, right? Like, for the most part. I mean, sure, they may get particular about, like, this is too futuristic, and this is World War II again. But I feel like any really mechanically good shooter can succeed in the current environment.
You just got to make it interesting.
You just have to make a really good shooter.
Borderlands definitely found its market.
Man, did you just call Borderlands a good shooter?
No, but it's
found its market.
It's got a
Very
unique
different.
style.
No,
to
I'm
it.
saying it succeeded, and that says something about the market. Oh! And then we sound a bell because we're now like Fox News Business Hour or whatever.
What was
The market's full of dummies. Oh!
I was reading comments from people who played Borderlands and Destiny.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like, they get heavily invested in that sort of thing. That way they tell a story, and they just don't like Destiny because it takes itself seriously at all. And
Let me put it this way, succinctly, you know. Borderlands narrative is the bro step of video games. There.
okay.
Look at me with my Skrillex references.
You did it.
Yay.
Great.
But yeah, there's definitely going to be that demo who's just like, I don't like sci-fi, and I like Borderlands and its dumbness. It's like, you know Borderlands is sci-fi too, right? I need you to tell me you don't think this is Australia.
This is what Australia. God, that hit me in waves.
Yeah.
It took you over, and you wrote it into the painful realization that they might actually. This hurts! Ah!
Also, a lot of the complaints online about the Crucible seem to think that it's doing things that it's not.
The game doesn't super transparently tell you.
Right.
Like, it really needs to beat you over the head with, hey, there's stronger weapons, won't matter here.
Right, and because I was using my sniper rifle that was the very beginning of the game, lowest possible output it can have, and it was doing just the same amount of damage as a sniper rifle that says it has like twice as much damage.
Okay, yeah.
And that's the way it is for all the guns, except in that Iron Banner mode, which is something that's different.
Let's go into that real quick. The Crucible is all the competitive multiplayer in this game. The mode they have at launch in the beta is zones, and they opened up occasionally throughout this beta period sorry, the Goldblum is taking over me.
You did
Help!
it. Now stop.
I don't. But in any case, they have this what is it? Iron Banner. Iron Banner, which is a limited time event. It's the second option in the Crucible.
So you guys shoot each other?
So you guys collect dinosaur bones? We try.
Stop.
Borderlands 3 needs Jeff Goldblum.
Dan.
God damn it.
Dan, stop.
That's the only way Borderlands gets better. That's what I'm sticking to it. Somebody needs to write the guy who writes, "Hey Ash, what you playing?" You just be like, "Hey, push them to get Goldblum." So in any case, Iron Banner is the second option on the Crucible menu. It opened up during a limited amount of time, and it's like, "Hey, bro, all of your levels and shit matter now." Which throws out balance, but people enter this mode so they know what they're getting themselves into. I could see why people wouldn't know that. It's not super transparent that the other mode isn't that as well.
It does. It had the text saying it doesn't take that stuff like that into account at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you have to read.
Yeah.
And that is a high bar for the internet.
Yes. In a game so focused on levels, doing the opposite thing of what people expect from that type of game, you should beat them over the head.
Right.
You should have red text, like right in front of you on
During the loading screen.
On a blue screen. The loading screen should just say nothing but that. But yeah, I could see that.
Now, what I definitely agree with is you need to unlock like all the basic abilities. Like if you don't
Yes.
have your grenade and your R1 attack, like my throwing knife for the hunter, and the super move, which you unlock all those like pretty early on.
Oh, yeah, within the first
By
couple
5
missions.
levels in.
Yeah.
By 5 levels in, you have absolutely all of that.
And that's
Everything else after that is stat boosts.
and different
Enhancements.
ways you can do
Yeah.
do different kinds of grenades, that sort of thing. So you get to alter
Different
it more.
enhancements, yeah.
And I kind of view that as the Call of Duty thing of, oh yeah, if you play it more, you get different choices.
Yeah.
And I think they accomplished doing that fairly well.
Yeah,
at least
it's
from what we've
definitely
seen so far.
it's definitely not what I was afraid it would be, which was
Garbage.
yeah.
Borderlands.
Yeah, I thought the multiplayer in this game would be unhinged. It just wouldn't be kept in check. They didn't make it super transparent in the E3 stuff that the levels and things weren't going to apply.
They didn't want
And-
to talk about it.
Yeah, and that was a major
Weird.
concern. I think it's a brilliant strategy, honestly. I think their marketing so far is a brilliant strategy. Most people in the video game press think it's stupid and that they're confusing people. No, actually, they're building up interest because people don't know what Destiny is. So when the alpha comes out, it takes off like fucking hotcakes, and then the beta comes out, and everyone should be able to attest to how popular the beta's been. Like, it's crazy busy. You had someone come into your job, Bob did, who needed to buy a game because Destiny was down for the day.
Yes, this is true.
Holy shit.
That is strict MMO behavior. Oh, it's patch
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I need to do something. I don't know
It
what
was
I'm
a guy
gonna do.
who was like, I already used like $200 on Warframe.
Yeah.
Jesus. Of course, Destiny has that man by the balls.
Yes.
Jeez. That poor soul.
Now, I want to go back real quick and talk about the aesthetic because that hits me
Okay.
right home.
Yeah.
Like that mostly sci-fi but partially fantasy like hits me in the Star Oceans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it really does.
I was gonna say it's more of a. It has a almost Japanese feel of just this is weird. You're showing
Yeah.
in lots of stuff here.
Yeah.
The Star Ocean Fantasy Star kind of like, oh yeah, right there.
Yeah, that outer space gun looks exactly like that. Oh yeah, look at that tank.
It's a revolver.
So
yeah, it's a revolver.
I'm shooting this wizard with a rocket launcher.
And you know, the amazing thing here is if it wasn't Bungie, I don't think people would have let them make this game.
No, probably
Maybe
not.
not. I
It
don't
would
know.
have been like, "Hey, where did that wizard come from? No.
No,
Get out.
Go home.
Get out!
But and it's also interesting because it's also almost like a apocalyptic setting as well because things are fucked in that universe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you are dead when they
Yeah,
find you.
in like Bethesda game, like start off Skyrim, you're in every single Elder Scrolls game, you start off a prisoner. Like, oh, you start at the bottom. In Destiny, you start off dead. Like
We
fucking,
found a deeper bottom. Fuck off,
fucking
Bethesda.
dead for like hundreds of years. Dead.
And that, yeah, like you two picked robots. I picked a human. What the heck did that little droid do?
Magic science.
Oh, right.
Weird science. So real quick, something that bugs me about Dragon Warrior is if I have 180 gold, I can go buy this thing. But then when I go to buy it, he's like, hey, can I buy that thing you have for this much money? And I'm like, I could have gotten this much sooner if you just fucking told me.
Right.
Or you lowered your damn prices. Getting back to Destiny, though, yeah, the aesthetic is really nice combination of American aesthetics, like Western fantasy and Japanese.
Yeah, I'm
sort
seeing
of.
robots walking around with horned helmets and furs. Like that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Those whatever those are called. I can't remember what those monsters are called. The ones with the forearms.
Oh,
so there
starts
were.
with an S or something. Scourge. I don't know.
Scavengers. Something. I don't.
The guys that rush you just.
The one with the sword. The ones
Oh,
that have the
those
swords
guys. Oh,
and can
jeez.
go cloaked and that sort of stuff.
God, those
Oh,
guys are
those.
super bastards.
I actually never read their name because usually when you see them, you want to get rid of them real fast.
Yeah, but they're all part of one higher faction with the captains
Yeah.
and stuff. I can't remember the name of
okay.
that faction
Gotcha.
though. And when they first showed those off, I was like, please let me play as that. That thing is so cool.
And then you killed one, and you were like, never mind.
Then I thunder punched it to death, and that.
And that solved that.
Yeah, I just want to comment also on that. Like those two playing like the squishy classes, like you go from behind, you shoot it with your gun, or you shoot it with magic. I run up and punch captains in the face. I
Yes.
say, "Fuck your shields." Punch.
I was playing the hunter a little like that because you can do the knife throw and then stab him in the head, and that usually almost kills them.
And then there's the Nova Bomb for the Warlock, which I spend a good bit of the beginning of an encounter just trying to line up okay, where are the most badass ones? Can I get in between both of them and nail all these fuckers?
Yeah.
And then since the grenade that the Warlock has is that aura, aura sphere of constant dot, it's really cool in an encounter to just chuck that thing at the point that they're coming in. And if you're strong enough, if you're that much more powerful, they'll just start dropping dead before they can even officially begin the battle, which is pretty great.
There was one complaint I heard about from Borderlands fans that the powers don't seem unique enough, and I'm like,
fuck you!
Right? I'm like, all of them are fun to use.
Borderlands powers are my number one problem with that game's sense of progression. Like, you play Diablo 2, even Diablo 3, and you get more sense of variety as you go on up the skill tree. Fucking Borderlands, so many of the skills are like, and then every third bullet, you'll get an extra bullet in your gun. And snipes do more damage.
Or your bird does things.
Yeah, your bird is on fire. Great. Can I get, like, I don't know, double bird? I'll even take, like, hawk. Like, just one big hawk.
Can I turn into a hawk? Call.
Call.
Yeah, which I thought that complaint was crazy because the skills in Borderlands are so garbage. Like, they don't start getting different until you're 50 levels in or something.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
The most differentiated things are those absolute top level in each tree.
Right?
And that's a shame. That's a damn shame.
Like
I don't think it should take more than one playthrough of a game to get differentiation in the progression mechanics. Which is actually my problem with a few games, like Mercenary Kings doesn't throw enough of its systems in on the first playthrough. You just gotta keep grinding for no reason.
Whereas Destiny, it feels like, okay, this was literally 8 levels. Apparently we're leveling up some abilities up to 15 in the beta.
Yeah.
And we did that in a few hours and got all these different things, and there was always that little thing that you're trying to get to that you want.
Because one of the things about Destiny, one of the best things it does, is when you finish a mission or you finish the Crucible, it pops up with a screen and it has all these circles on it. And they'll slowly fill up, and if you unlock something while you were playing from the experience you got, it'll fill up completely, and you can pull your cursor over it, and it'll tell you what ability that was. So as soon as you get back to playing again, you can select that ability, and more importantly, you can look forward to all those other abilities that aren't quite filled up yet. It's really good. It is one of the best parts of the game. And just because the moment I saw my ability to control my glide, I'm like, the game gets so much better at that point. I need to work hard for this. And it did get so much better, and this is the best video game ever made, and I would quit my job, but I already did. So... What was your, maybe not like the favorite moment or like the coolest thing about the beta so far for you, Bob? Like, was it a certain gun you got? Was it when you found out fusion rifles aren't balanced in the Crucible?
Aren't balanced, period.
I think that's probably more accurate.
Yeah, it's true. The fusion rifle is a gun with a good bit of ramp up. You have to charge it, but then when it finishes charging, it unloads these 3 bullets of fire. Things that are remotely close to you tend to die just immediately.
Just any time you do a shot that vaporizes someone, they slowly drift backwards into vapor.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty great.
That is a great moment. I actually meant to bring that up earlier. Like, my orb will just burn them up basically and make them dissipate into purple energy. The light gun just burns them like they're paper.
Right.
And they just float away like...
And jumping into a group of dudes and shockwaving them and just having them go,
so many bodies.
No. It looks like Burly Brawl where you just cast up all the Smiths.
Yeah. I feel like they know.
Yeah. You know.
They know. So that's a pretty great moment, I think so. Eric, is it the same for you?
I'm trying. Like, what was the best moment?
Yeah, basically, like the coolest thing
speeder bike
about it.
ranks.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
you already went over.
If I want to go beneath that, I mean, I felt pretty. I mean, I don't play FPSs, so like when I encountered and like actually lived through an encounter, like one of the boss stages, I felt good.
Yeah.
I was like, this feeling of accomplishment. I did this.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
And the game isn't afraid to kill you. I really like that about it. Like, you just died, you go back and try again. Like, so
Right.
few games do that well. Because at the beginning of that wizard encounter, if you die in the middle of it, you start the wizard encounter over again. It's like, that's a good way to do this. That's a great way to do this. A lot of video games, like Borderlands, you die in the boss, you have to respawn and
Walk back to the boss.
walk back to the boss, and it's not really fun. You start right outside of the encounter if you're in single player. In multiplayer, you can revive your allies.
One thing I was gonna say on like the best moment, it just whenever like they know when to cue in the music.
Yeah,
That helps
absolutely.
a lot.
The soundtrack is great,
I mean,
and it just comes in right at the like. You're hacking the information out of this dead ghost to find out it's under control of the war AI Rasputin. When fucking 3 drop ships show up outside and
they don't
start
just
unloading
show up.
lasers.
They warp in with some sort of bizarre green energy warp.
Yeah, and they just fucking start unloading people on the fucking entryway, this nice little ramp up into the building. And you're just like, holy fuck, and the music kicks in. And it's just like, boom!
You go from, oh shit, this is bad, to, oh shit, this is awesome.
Yep. Exactly. It is so well done. Like, I can't think of a single other video game that did that well. Ever.
Well, Colossus did that pretty well.
It did?
I mean,
Pretty
I
well.
almost started that whole thing
Yeah.
of dynamic music that kicks in at the right time.
Kinda. Yeah. Kinda.
I feel like there was something before that, but that's the one
That people look at.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, this has a great sense of, like, it has the music when it's ramping down, it has the music when it's coming close, they have the music, yeah. That sort of thing. It does that really well. I feel like this is what Halo would have been if it had, like, way more budget to do with the levels of, like, okay, and this is a down moment, and here's the battle, and then you won, so here's this other music. And it's just music everywhere, and I love music in video games. Like, this last gen has been insufferable due to the lack of great music in video games.
Like just during the alpha, even I remember that being one of the first things I thought about. Like, oh man, there's really good music here. What is
In
this? A
this-
shooter?
Shooter?
What? And I have to say, I was like, I get kind of depressed thinking, man, most of the games these days are shooters. Like, there's so many shooters coming out. That's all that the AAA is doing. That's basically all I have coming out for the PlayStation 4 that's AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I got the Wii U luckily, so I have other things, but
No,
You just said, I
No,
luckily
coming.
have the Wii U.
coming. I have other things to look forward to.
Okay.
you have one thing to look forward to. I dare you to say 2 things.
Hey, 2, at least
Hyrule
3.
Warriors, man.
Yeah, Hyrule
Okay,
Warriors,
stop counting Bayonetta 1 and 2 separately.
and Smash Bros.
Oh, okay, well, that's not fair.
X, or,
He doesn't
I
care.
don't
Oh.
care. Watch out for that.
Look out, buddy.
watch out.
Here be dragons, and they don't give a fuck. But
But yeah,
oh,
I
man,
think
fucking
Destiny,
Smash and Destiny are just like, is this the best year in gaming? What?
When did that happen?
Yeah, God, this is gonna be the best year in a long time, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't off the top of my head, like analyzing prior years, think of a year better than this year because it has the new Smash and Destiny.
It has those 2, and then for
2015.
me it's got Bayonetta 2, and I'm just like, it wins.
2015 is going to have a run for this year's money for that, though. There's a shit ton coming out next year.
I don't know that any of them are as impressive as Brawl Lore.
We'll see. I mean, I'm agreeing with you totally.
People will
Those
die
These
if
are
we
high
get-
water marks for games at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, these are like the most quadruple of quadruple A games. Nintendo must have spent a lot of money on Smash. Like, just getting it done in this amount of time and at that fidelity.
Either that or Sakurai is some sort of man god.
All coded
He is a
all.
Puma man.
Puma man! But yeah, so excited for Destiny. God, that game's so good. It's just like, I don't want to sit here and gush.
I will say, it is so good that it made me like a first-person shooter and simultaneously made me want to save up money to buy a PS4.
That's pretty compelling as fuck if you know this guy.
Holy shit, guys.
He was like, Wii is good enough for last gen, and in this gen, he's just like, oh boner. So yeah. Any other comments before we?
I can't think of anything. I mean, the only thing that I could say negative maybe is let's throw some of this in here.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you're like.
Sometimes it ends.
You can't play anymore when that happens.
Sometimes I fall asleep.
That's
and I
bullshit.
can't play it in my
offline.
I can't play it in my dreams.
I get so hungry playing this game.
But what I was really
hungry.
I have a thing as well.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll drop in other guys like just at random, and sometimes that's cool, just like doing stuff. And when you're in the free roam mode, you can go into that's fine. But when you're in the like oriented missions, you're here to do this. It's kind of funny to see like a guy right ahead of you doing that same thing.
Yeah.
It feels MMO-ish, and
it just feels weird because you're supposed to be the one guy who's solving this problem on this specific thing. Not like the larger problem of
right,
the scourge or whatever you're dealing with, but
they do make it sound like there are other guardians in the story. So
but this one specific thing you're doing, it's so absurd to see like some dude right in front of you using his ghost to scan the dead ghost.
The game's terminologies will never stop being weird. You have to
Absolutely
save this dead
amazing.
ghost.
Right. Amazing is the word, good sir.
I went to the moon to revive this ghost. Okay.
Go on. But what else were you going to say?
There was, it was probably just a beta thing, but there was this one point I was playing through the open world segment. Because, they have the missions and stuff, but there's a one mission you can select is just roam the fuck out of the place and find missions. It's great.
Which is cool.
There was one part where I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a mission that someone triggered or if the game just shat the bed, but a billion guys started pouring into this area, like, nonstop.
Oh, I know what that was.
And then, elites came in, and I just was like, oh, I'm dying every 3 seconds. I'm like, throw a grenade, I'm dead. Shoot I'm dead.
That is that one section of the map. Me and Dan ran into this one time, and Brett was with us, and he explained it.
Yeah.
They can have a war there. The two factions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're fighting each other.
They're fighting each other. And you got caught up in it because they just spawning in tons of dudes to kill each other.
Okay. Wait, that's neat. But I was just so confused. Like, why? Because every time I spawned, they stopped firing at each other, and both sides turned to shoot at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, please.
Please stop now. What was it? Next to that area, there's actually a little alcove that has this dude who's so beastly that his level is ?
Oh.
He will tear your asshole apart. As he did to me 4 times.
You're like,
all I wanted to get was one tiny ghost.
That's Bungie saying back the fuck off.
Son.
Maybe you didn't read the term beta. You ain't playing this whole game,
son. You wanted us to put a wall here? He is the wall.
I feel like someone puts that in the EULA, because no one reads it.
Right.
Puts that, and no one's like, you can't play through this whole game. Son.
I'm hot. So vote me.
If you play me, I'm hot.
That'll do it for the Destiny Roundtable, unless you guys had any last comments.
Not really, no.
Okay.
I had good times.
It was excellent. Excellent game. Like, holy shit, that's worth $60.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that it's not 60. Like, that would be really great if they did do that. But it's a solid 30, and it feels good.
Oh.
Sorry, 60 frames per second.
I was like...
Wow.
Yeah,
oh.
Woo.
Wow,
Yeah,
you really... Wow, okay.
Yeah, I jumped a few sharks there.
Yeah, it is a solid 30 frames per second. We saw some footage of the Xbox One version running at 1080p, and it didn't look 30. Hopefully they get that better by launch. Because that was clearly dropping frames like a mother.
Right.
Not sure how many people noticed that sort of thing, but whatever.
Not me.
Not you. Wah. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to the GigaBoots podcast. Come back next week where hopefully Erdrick's descendant gets more levels instead of less.
You start fighting the enemies that take levels from you.
That would be Bob, yes.
Okay.
And if he takes levels from me again, I will fight him.
So Bob is the final boss of Dragon Warrior.
Yes.
Okay.